We had a project meeting yesterday, whole very productive day, and we decided to organize the open session because topic of sustainability is becoming interesting for everybody, and especially to EGI community. And you will see what EGI community already, which kind of interest it's got from the project survey. And I will introduce a GreenDIGIT project. So I will present a couple of general concepts of the GreenDIGIT project, and he mostly will focus on defining architecture elements for research infrastructure sustainability. Research infrastructure, we mean also data center. You can find a lot of documents related to sustainability of IT, ITC, but they are mostly focused on data centers. There are a lot of standards. It doesn't move my... it doesn't move any of them. Which? Actually, I switch it to... okay, this is my... and we will be a general project introduction. I will fit into 20 minutes, so I will go quickly because there are quite interesting diagrams. We will talk, I will show shared responsibility model. It's something what we think can be accepted and need to be promoted to the community. But in a AWS presentation, Amazon presentation, you will see that they also propose sustainability pillar for architecture design and shared responsibility model, because shared responsibility is a major concept of cloud services. Cloud provider provide facilities, and users are responsible for designing and operating these services in general. So we extend this to shared responsibility and sustainability. It will be talk about this. We also inform you that we have started working on sustainability by design. It's a kind of already beaten, overloaded word in any areas by design. And we started making this more systematic. We expect this project is only finished 7 months yesterday. So we expect that we will develop some new, and especially sustainability by design, maybe 1-2 months, produce white papers, some technical notes, and it will be useful for the community. And ongoing work, I will not focus in the presentation in a slide, but we have started working on CO2 for workflows. We started have initial work on the energy optimization for analytics and inference, and also interesting initiative. I don't know if it's realized or not. We will try to introduce sustainability into software engineering, application engineering, and probably we'll brand this like everybody knows DevSecOps, whatever we may brand as a DevSysOps. Let's see. I'm sharing with you not only results that whatever, but what our plans. Why? I want to invite you to cooperation. Project is open, has a lot of plans for outreach, for involvement of community, for deliverable useful results. So this will be our, and surely I put a EC logo for funding this project by for 3 years. So GreenDIGIT has 5 goals. Just think about these goals. They are covering different spectrum of activity of our life as operators, developers, and researchers. First is assess the status and trends in research infrastructure, data centers on achieving sustainability effect. Sustainability means, in later slides, is not only energy, but also life cycle, CO2 impact, and so on. Provide the reference architecture. Reference architecture is what will be topic of this presentation, and reference architecture, why it is needed for us. Very special slide, because it can integrate different aspect spectrums, develop and validate new and innovative technologies. This one of activities that will follow after architecture definitions, landscape analysis, and so on in a project. Provide technical tools. Provide the research infrastructure operator, provide facility, but researchers need to use them. So they need to use a tool, at least to optimize the energy efficiency of their scientific workflow and analytics. And final is educate and support digital service providers and researchers. We put a task of developing what we need to teach, what we need to train, and probably will develop initial set of tutorials that will be widely distributed. If you want to educate yourself, your staff, your management, it will be provided with kind of tutorials. And 3 different aspects of sustainability. This is energy efficiency digital infrastructure. It's related to architecture, design patterns, and recommendations. Decarbonization of digital infrastructure. You had a lot of publication, podcasts, do decarbonization, do the minimum CO2 effect. So this is related to operation, monitoring, and key performance indicators. And reducing environment impact of digital infrastructure. Here is very tricky because environment impact related to life cycle. So life cycle, policy, and training, because users need to understand what kind of environment impact. There are many details you can adjust to your domain area and so on. And why architecture is needed? Because architecture is a way to coordinate, synchronize, unite different activities, different role actors in all this activity domain. And also it's a basis for linking to standards. Why we need to link to standard if we talk about sustainability? Because a lot of auditing certification company that already started doing this business. If we not link technical solutions to standard audit and certification, it will be mismatched between auditing, certification, and whatever ranking. And European Commission is very seriously looking to the certification and the rating for the data centers. And green digit architecture methodology. What we do this? Architecture is try to connect everything horizontally, vertically, life cycle. Horizontally means that compatibility, integration between different centers, different facilities. Vertical should be well-organized communication between layers of infrastructure, workflow, and users. And life cycle is something new that we introduced, when we started this project, we understood that we need to introduce life cycle. Sometimes life cycle is considered as part of software development, software engineering, from requirements to testing, the integration and operation. So about infrastructure is much more wider. Life cycle from idea to the operation and to decommissioning. And research operator and researchers need to be taken into account when we develop architecture and continue. If we do research, we start from the physical object, research object, sensor, radio access network, or edge computing workflow and researcher. This also needs to be included. We are at some stage of development architecture, and currently we are ready to present and distribute, and is a shared responsibility model. Is how responsibility between operator and researcher or research project or research organization can be shared, and what interaction should be done. And sustainability design, as I mentioned, is an ongoing process, and we hope that we will deliver something interesting. And linkage to standards. This is what we need. And going further, this is the most central part of this presentation is a shared responsibility model. What does it mean? everything what is done of research is done thanks to research infrastructure. So it should be green, but research infrastructure includes the data center, different facilities, including light, water, cooling, and this maybe will be much our concern in the project. But we need to ensure that everything what is in data center can be managed, controlled, and presented by information. Researchers develop their application, have a platform for development, software, and they need to control data, storage, code, and utilization, and need to be connected to the some kind of metrics information. For this, we will define API and information model. Definition is done, but to go from this diagram and this general presentation to the specifically interaction between research facilities and infrastructure and research process will require some time. And this upper part is users responsible for sustainability on research infrastructure. You will see some grammatical difference in Amazon presentation. I ask you to catch about this. Okay, so what we have, what we also did in the project, it was very big work and extensive work to analyze standards, because standards defined current regulations, rules, certification, and possibly funding. So very well-developed structure is called a European Code of Conduct on Data Center Energy Efficiency, and it contains the following modules, technical functional modules that are used in this standard, in this regulation. But it's also defined role of participants. This is operator, colocation provider, managed services providers, and responsibility of this is, beside metrics, is IT equipment, operating system, software. There is also very interesting development by European Commission is called a EC delegated regulation, fresh of March this year. This standard also develops already for a couple of years, 5 or 6 years. It's evolved, very nice evolve, but this is recent, and this is clearly state that data centers in Europe need to be compliant with these specific requirements. And just to show you, if we are talking already about shared responsibility, so this is area of various concern of users and researchers, and how we can realize this concern, this intention. We need to provide information from all these modules to the user to develop the application and operators in sense of sustainability. And this is something what is need to be put into responsibility, and researchers need to know about this. And we are moving to the linking between KPI, what is a subject for certification and audit, metrics, what is subject for optimization and control, and design solutions that we need to implement. And there are some different aspects of sustainability by design, but this is the ongoing process. And I only can show that we try to reflect different aspects in technical sense, is a physical resources, research or data center facilities, scientific workflow application, research tools, and researching. And this is an area that we need to address. And this is probably a finish of my presentation. Maybe it will initiate some discussion now or later, and I fit into my time. 1 minute left.
Thank you very much.
Okay.